Let's reveal the 12 biggest Chevy V8 engines ever built. Pure engineering brilliance that has powered muscle cars and workhorses alike, roaring through decades of automotive history. The 348 is Chevy's first big block V8. The engine that set the automotive world on fire and made the late 50s a roaring era of horsepower. Back in 1958, this beast burst onto the scene, powering full-size icons like the Impala and even trucks. With up to 280 horsepower, it wasn't just an engine, it was a middle finger to mediocrity. A declaration that Chevy was here to dominate. This iron giant wasn't just strong, it was versatile, handling drag strips and heavy hauls like a pro. Durable, reliable, and unapologetically powerful, it was every gearhead's dream. But let's be real, it had its flaws. The heavy cast iron construction meant efficiency wasn't exactly its thing, and it guzzled fuel like there was no tomorrow. Want to keep this classic alive? Regular oil changes and carburetor cleaning will do the trick. Oh, and the fun part? This wasn't just a street hero. It ruled the drag strips, cementing Chevy's legendary status in motorsports. Some engines are remembered. This one roared its way into history. The 366 V8 is the engine that you probably won't see in any movie scenes, but you'll definitely see it in the real world, running school buses, dump trucks, and RVs. It's not about flash, it's about relentless, no-nonsense power. With a modest 200 horsepower, don't expect it to break any speed records. But hey, it wasn't built for racing, it was built for reliability. The 366 might not win any beauty contests, but it's practically unkillable. Keep it maintained and it'll keep chugging along, hauling whatever needs hauling. Want to keep it running like a champ? Don't forget to give that cooling system some love. It's critical in those heavy-duty applications. Fun fact, mechanics still adore this engine for its simple, no-frills design. Maybe it's not glamorous, but hey, sometimes the unsung heroes deserve the spotlight too. Alright gearheads, let's rewind to 1965, the year Chevy decided to show the world how muscle cars were really done. Enter the 396, the first big block V8 that didn't just whisper power, but screamed it down the street. Introduced in 1965, this beast dropped into the Chevrolet SS and immediately started turning heads. With up to 375 horsepower, the 396 wasn't just a big block V8, it was a performance machine that made sure you knew it. Built for the drag strip and street racing, it was a dream for anyone who wanted a car that could scream down the road. But hey, don't expect it to sip gas like it's sipping a latte at a cafe. This thing was thirsty. Seriously, fuel efficiency was never on its agenda. But here's the question, who cares about fuel when you're flying down the road, right? To keep this muscle monster in top shape, make sure to regularly adjust those valves. It helps cement the Chevrolet SS as one of the greatest muscle cars ever. And it was all thanks to that raw, powerful 396 engine. Alright, here's one for all the car enthusiasts and music lovers out there. You know that Beach Boys classic 409 that makes you want to drive fast and blast the tunes? Well, guess what? This song wasn't just about the vibe, it was all about the car, specifically Chevy's legendary 409 engine. 409 was the heart of Chevy's muscle car dreams. With a whopping 425 horsepower and 425 pound-feet of torque, this engine wasn't just good, it was insane. It was a torque monster that could tear up the track. But don't get any ideas about using it for Sunday drives. This thing was built for speed, towing, and pure muscle. But here's the kicker. Despite all that power, Chevy couldn't keep it alive long term. Why? Because it was expensive to produce, and let's face it, the world wasn't ready to throw cash at a high-performance engine that didn't last. Oh, and don't forget those cylinder heads. Inspect them regularly for cracks. They're notorious for it. Still, this engine will always have a special place in history. After all, when the Beach Boys made a song about it, you know it's a real legend. Ready for some serious muscle? In 1966, Chevy dropped the 427. And let's just say it was like handing the keys to a beast. With jaw-dropping 465 horsepower, this engine was built for legends. Think Corvette, Camaro, and all those high-performance icons. It wasn't just a car, it was an experience that made you feel like you were in the driver's seat of history itself. Talk about power. But let's get real here. While the 427 was an absolute performance king, it wasn't exactly cheap, and it loved to guzzle premium gas like it was its job. Still, no one could help but be blown away by its smooth revving, making it a fan favorite among enthusiasts who wanted more than a ride. They wanted a thrill. And let's not forget maintenance. Keeping that high-performance edge meant regular tune-ups or risk losing that perfect power. Oh, and did it mention the engine practically became the face of the golden age of American muscle cars? Because, well, it totally did. Hold on tight. This is where things get really exciting. The 1969 427 ZL1 with its aluminum block isn't just an engine, it's a frickin' racing legend. It was built for one thing, dominating the track with a staggering 500 plus horsepower. And let's talk about weight. While the iron block versions were muscle-bound beasts, the ZL1 was like a race car on a diet, dropping pounds to deliver performance that was off the charts. But here's the kicker, only 69 Camaro ZL1s were made. That's right, just 69. So if you're lucky enough to find one, you've just discovered one of the rarest, most expensive pieces of muscle car history. Yeah, it's that exclusive. And don't even thinking about letting it overheat. Aluminum blocks can't handle the heat like their iron cousins. So keep it cool and it'll reward you with an insane performance ride. If you've got one, treat it like royalty because finding another is almost impossible. Over 770 horsepower? Oh yeah, that's the LSX 454R crate engine for you. Chevy's ultimate answer to dominating the track. This engine combines modern engineering with raw, unapologetic power, delivering a smooth blend of cutting-edge technology and classic V8 muscle. With over 770 horsepower, it's built for racing and extreme performance. Don't even think about using this on your daily commute unless you want your car to become a road-shredding beast. It's all about speed, power, and sheer dominance. But don't forget, this engine's not for the faint of heart. It's designed for the serious racer or someone who's got big dreams of tearing up the track. To keep this powerhouse running smoothly, you'll need regular dyno checks. That's the price you pay for precision and top-tier performance. Professional racers love this engine for its reliability and ability to keep up under extreme conditions. When you push it to the limit, it doesn't back down. Have you ever wondered what made the 1970s muscle car era so legendary? Let's talk about the LS6, the engine that set the streets on fire and had everyone drooling. Released in 1970, the 454 LS6 wasn't just any engine, it was the engine. With a ridiculous 450 horsepower, it wasn't just part of the muscle car revolution, it was the heart of it. This engine turned the Chevelle SS and other iconic rides into street monsters, capable of crushing anything in its path. Now, don't get too excited about fuel economy because that's a whole different story. If you thought you'd save a penny at the pump, think again. This engine drank fuel like it was going out of style. But hey, when you're cruising in a car that can practically melt the road beneath you, who cares? Keep that ignition system tuned up and you'll be driving one of the most iconic powerhouses ever made. Oh, and did we mention this was the go-to engine for street racers in the 70s? Yeah, it was the king. The Vortec 8100, it's like the heavyweight champion of engines. Built to take on the toughest jobs and leave everything else in the dust. Introduced in 2001, this beast wasn't designed to cruise around town sipping gas or showing off at car shows. No, it was all about power and sheer brute force. With 340 horsepower and 455 pound-foot of torque, this engine was built to haul, tow, and carry some serious weight. Trucks, RVs, you name it, the Vortec 8100 had it covered. It's the engine you want if you're hauling your home on wheels or need to move something massive across the country. Now, let's not sugarcoat it. Fuel efficiency is not exactly what this engine's about. If you're looking to save on gas, you might want to rethink. But if you need raw power and reliability, the Vortec 8100 delivers every time. Fun fact, this engine marks the end of an era. It's the last of the big block engines for GM trucks. So if you have one, treat it like a relic because it's not something you'll see again anytime soon. The Chevy 502, every gearhead's dream come true. If you ever wondered what it feels like to have your own car throw you back in your seat with the kind of power that makes your heart race, then the 502's for you. This engine is a monster. Available in Chevy's performance catalog and it cranks out up to 600 horsepower. It's like the engine equivalent of strapping a rocket to your car. Hot rods, marine builds, even racing enthusiasts, this engine is the ultimate power source for anyone looking to push limits and leave the competition eating dust. But here's the catch, it's not exactly street-friendly in some states due to emission restrictions. So while it's great for a custom-built or racing project, don't expect to just cruise around the neighborhood without raising a few eyebrows. Fun fact, the 502 is the engine of choice for custom car builders everywhere, offering endless tuning options and making it one of the most versatile crate engines on the market. If you're looking for insane power, this is where you start. Ready to feel your car turn into a drag strip monster? The Chevy ZZ572 is the ultimate engine for anyone serious about speed and power. Introduced in 1998, this crate engine delivers a mind-blowing 720 horsepower, making it a favorite for drag racers and thrill seekers alike. It's designed with one goal in mind: dominance on the track. If you ever wanted to feel the kind of power that makes your heart race as fast as your car, this is it. But here's the catch: this engine is a bit much for everyday driving. It's built for the track, not the street. So if you're just cruising around town, this engine might make you feel like you're overcompensating. And while the ZZ572's pure power, those high-performance components need a little bit more TLC. Keep an eye on them because they'll wear out quicker than your standard engine. But hey, it's worth it when you're blasting down the strip. Fun fact: this engine's become a staple for drag racers looking to leave everyone else in the dust. Can you blame them? The ZZ632 is the beast of all beasts. Unleashed in 2021, this monstrous engine delivers a mind-blowing 1,004 horsepower, and it's naturally aspirated, no supercharger needed. Chevy didn't just raise the bar with this one, they obliterated it. The ZZ632 is the ultimate crate engine for those who think too much power is a joke. With over 1,000 horsepower, it's like strapping a rocket to your ride and hoping the road can keep up. But here's the catch: it's not cheap, and it's certainly not for the faint of heart. If you're thinking of bolting this monster to your project car, be prepared for some serious investment. And when it comes to maintenance, forget about shortcuts. This thing demands premium care. Follow Chevy's recommendations to the letter, or you might be saying goodbye to that 1,000 horsepower dream. The ZZ632s redefine the game for naturally aspirated engines, setting records and benchmarks that'll make other manufacturers sweat. This is the pinnacle, Chevy's crowning achievement. From the pioneering 348 to the monstrous ZZ632, Chevy's V8 engines have shaped automotive history. Which of these beasts caught your eye? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more.